we think about sustainability from a Score E perspective, and so part of an ASCM offering is around this enterprise look across 3 areas: around ecological nature of a supply chain, the ethical nature, and the economic nature and elements. And while sustainability and circularity are closely related, the biggest difference is that sustainability really looks at all 3 of those that I've just mentioned, and really looking at how do we continue working in a way that allows these 3 areas to really shine. In circularity, the main focus is really on the ecological piece out of necessity. So saying, gosh, how do we best steward our resources and materials? And by doing so, the circular economy says those businesses will make money. Now, there's a debate, and potentially we can all debate this together, that the ethical part of supply chains don't by nature fall into the scope of a circular economy. Now, a circular supply chain is shorter because normally they're kept more regionally. You want to keep items as themselves, as close to themselves for as long as possible. And so because of that, we get shorter supply chains, and we know shorter supply chains means that there's less room to hide. So we typically do see more ethical behavior in these circular supply chains than we wouldn't. But that's one main focus. The second main focus is really the focus on the economic piece. So this idea of a circular economy is a shift to a new type of global economy. And so if you're saying, okay, here's this circular economy, circular business project, but gosh, it's really not making any money, then I'd push you to go back and look, is it a sustainability initiative which has lots of business benefits outside of the bottom line? Or is it truly a circular project and initiative? Because that can be one of the big differences. That the transition to a circular economy is inevitable. A lot of this is happening because we, as a global economy, are running out of materials. We sometimes think, oh, we've got unlimited amounts of materials inside the earth. In reality, we don't. And the viability of being able to mine for some of these materials is really starting to run out. So for example, we have less than 10 years of gold left in the planet. And of course, we use gold for all kinds of stuff. So this becomes a problem. As supply chain professionals, we know that there is value to be found across our supply chains. The circular economy said there is more value to be had. So we need to go and find that value. And just like we're talking about in today's world, typically when we're done with something, we throw it away. It goes into some landfill. But of course, in supply chain, we know the reality is we'll often harvest the metals from electronics, let's say. We've been doing this for years and years. But the circular economy says, gosh, all materials could have more value to offer, more than just what we're used to harvesting today. So the idea of the circular economy, again, is to allow the material to stay at its highest value for as long as possible. And we've talked about a couple of the processes that we do to do that. Here's the kicker. As a supply chain professional, as a group, we need to be able to process items, clean them, refurbish them, remanufacture them right alongside new builds. And this can be a real challenge. So this is really on us. The analyst group Gartner gives us 10 years to be ready to support circular business practices, and McKinsey gives us just 5. I don't know about you, but completely restructuring a process in 5 years is a tall order. And so here we are exploring these concepts to begin with. We got a lot of work ahead of us.